Of the many, many points of pride of Motlow College, the college can tout our greatest point of pride, which is the leadership of our first president, Dr. Sam Ingram, who will celebrate his 90th birthday on January 31st. 1 year shy of Motlow's 50th anniversary, Dr. Ingram remains as a constant within the college community. At the tender age of 40, Dr. Ingram took the helm and led the charge of opening, establishing, and laying the foundation for Motlow State Community College. 50 years later, we are blessed to celebrate the 90th birthday of Dr. Ingram. As we celebrate, we will revisit the formative years of Motlow and the many achievements of Dr. Ingram. As we engage in this fireside chat, you will see and hear the person who we celebrate on his 90th birthday. The educator, the principal, the dean, the president, the commissioner of education, and most of all, the leader with integrity, Dr. Ingram.
There are a lot of things that are required to start a new institution. And one of the most significant and most time-consuming is employing all the people. And the buildings, they never get them all open at the same time.
Right.
And they never have the heating and cooling balance. I remember Hal Raymer, who was president of Vol State.
I remember Dr. Raymer.
And he called me, they opened 2 years after Motlow, and he called me one day and he said, Sam, I said, how you doing? He was new president, all excited to go up there. He said, well, I'm all right, but he said, I want to ask you a question. He said, when do the contractors ever finish with your buildings? I said, Hal, I have news for you. They never finished. They finally just quit coming back.
Your student enrollment, when you opened in '69, your first class or first flock of students, 551, how did that make you feel?
Well, I thought that was a good number for the first year.
Okay, yeah.
And we would not have had that except for the tremendous publicity that the Tullahoma News gave. The attitude of a lot of people then was, oh, that's just a glorified little high school they're starting there. I thought that was not a bad number.
Let's talk about you on a personal note. When you were offered the job to come to Motlow as president, you were the dean of education at MTSU, which is now the state's largest undergraduate institution. Was that a tug of war making the decision to come here? What propelled you to say, yes, I'll take this on?
I was in my office one day and Mr. Wolf, the Commissioner of Education, called me. He called me and asked me if I knew anything about Motlow College. I said, Commissioner, about the only thing I know about it is that they're getting ready to open Motlow in a relatively short period of time. He said, I'm calling you to ask you if you'd have any interest in becoming president there. And I asked him a few questions, salary being one of them. And
That's always a factor.
There was little or no difference in the salary I was getting. Mm-hmm. But I had read enough about community colleges being different, that they were designed to take students essentially where they are and do what you could for them. And that they were also community-oriented, so that they offered not only credit courses, but non-credit courses depending on what the needs were. And that appealed to me. But at any rate, I went on, and when I got to Mr. Wolf's office, he said, well, he said, 2 or 3 more people downstairs, and we went downstairs to a little room, and it was a little committee of the State Board of Education. And he had not told me that I was going to meet with a committee of the State Board.
Yeah.
And we talked about 20 or 30 minutes, I guess. At the end of that time, they voted that they were going to recommend me to the full board. And he got up and said, well, Sam, let's go up. So the board's meeting upstairs. So we went from there up to a full board meeting, and they elected me president. And I got ready to leave, and Mr. Wolf said to me, said, Sam, you need to go by my office and pick up an application and fill it out. Said, we'll need to get a little publicity out on this. That's how things operated back then, quite different from the way they operate.
What are you most proud of achieving as a leader here?
Looking back, I think the thing that any person can do that has a more lasting impact is the people that they recommend for employment.
Okay.
And that sets the tone not only for the immediate school year, but for what's going to happen the next many years, because Motlow has a different atmosphere from any other community college that I've ever attended. And I think it's more than my imagination and me hoping that I did a good job when I started.
Well, I think the fact that the foundation is celebrating you today is evidence that you did do a good job. But the fact that we are still here and thriving tells the community and the state that you did do a good job. So it's not your imagination. You did a good job.
Well, the good job has been done since I left. I only stayed 5 years before I went to the Commissioner of Education's job. And I think we've enjoyed some outstanding leadership from the folks who came after me.
Do you have any regrets?
No regrets.
No regrets.
I would have liked to have had a lot more money those early years. One of them was the first graduation at Motlow State Community College. But it was one of those days that was extremely warm. And I remember looking around on the stage, and everybody was perspiring, and some were trying to find programs to fan with, and it went off without a hitch. And I've always loved graduations because it's the culmination of a lot of hard work and encouragement and everything else. And everybody's happy. Maybe that's why I liked it. If you're in administration, you spend a lot of your time talking to people who are not so happy. But graduation is not one of those times. The ability of faculty and staff to adapt to having little money, no equipment, inadequate materials the first 2 or 3 years really impressed me. And another thing that impressed me as I think about the early days is how much I learned. I've always been curious about a lot of things, and you can't work with a group of staff in a new situation, opening a new community colleges, without learning so much new things about everything, it seems like. And the tremendous progress, I can't think of Motlow without being so pleased about the tremendous progress that's been made and the reputation all over the state, on the Tennessee Promise, for example. Number one, and this, that, and the other. Maybe the lowest I've seen in the publicity is second place in something. Now, that's the kind of Motlow that I expected and that we've been fortunate to have, and it's been very satisfying to me to watch that progress take place over the years. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that I was honored by having the administration named after me. Maybe not deserved, but very, very much appreciated. Well, I suspect it, and by the way, I want to make this clear. I don't want to be invited to attend the 100th anniversary of Motlow College. But there's been so much change. I was telling you earlier about buying chalk for the green chalkboards, and that was an advancement. That's one of the first new buildings when I came to Motlow that I've been in, that instead of having the old black chalkboards, we had green chalkboards. I am unable really to envision the tremendous changes that are going to take place. As a matter of fact, it could be so decentralized that there will be few times when community college students will even be on campus. The communication will have changed so much, and the amount of public libraries, except through computers that we'll have access to wherever we are, will be necessary to have them. Libraries will be outdated, and you could go on and on. But the thing that I would advise would be that careful attention be given to who's going to be put in leadership positions and who's going to be involved in working directly with students. I think that's going to be, no matter how much progress is made, that's going to be the key to continued success. And I'm quite confident it's going to get better and better and better.